Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Week 6 North American Challenger Cup, the finals. Today we've got the rank 1 top-seeded #1 Rambozos on the right side, while 5 Angry Men, couple of pro players, ex-pro players on their team making up that side on the left. Loki, gonna be the first ban overall.
You know, I was just thinking, 5 Angry Men has
What else is
changed.
new?
They've changed their roster. All right, you're fine. You're right. I wasn't thinking, but 5 Angry Men have changed their roster a lot. They really need to be like the 12 Angry Men at this point. They have had a lot of players.
Yeah, 5 Angry Men have seen a lot of different players. Pain to Beyond has played twice for them. Both
Under
weeks,
2 different names.
Both weeks, coincidentally, when they went deep into the tournament. This is the deepest we've ever seen 5 Angry Men without Pain on their roster. So that speaks volumes to how far this team has really come together. And I guess really the players around Mace of the Face and the best. We really haven't seen poor performances out of either of those players. And the people that they've been able to supplement the team with have really just come into themselves. Mercury going to be first pick overall for 5AM. Recently nerfed. We're playing on the new patch, Kret, but I think it's still a great choice.
You know, Payne is honestly, I mean, he's a really big part of the teams he's on because of the way he communicates, or at least I'm basing my information off of when he used to stream when he was on Denial, but he did not stop talking during games. And that's really, really good. Like, you always want communication. You want to use every bit of time. I mean, some of the things that I say when I'm, you know, giving people advice, coaching teams, whatever it is, you should be talking from the moment you get into picks and bans until the end of the game. There shouldn't be any vocal downtime because you can always talk about something. Yeah, you finish picks, you go into trades. Okay, well, talk about what actives you're going to buy. Talk about who you're afraid of, what people need to be careful of, what the Rambozos like to do with their timed level 1 invade thingy that they do every game. And 5 Angry Men is of the caliber of team where I expect something like that. Maybe not clean. Everyone everyone in Smite right now has to work on their communication. I can safely say that.
I will say it's fitting that two of the people that I value the communication high on in the SPL are both support players. Jeff Inla and, believe it or not, Elbro Chacho has fantastic communication. They're both support players. They're players that talk about individual abilities being used, flanks, positioning, etc. And Thirst doesn't win games, but occasionally they win full fights, and that's part of the reason.
Yeah, and Elbro Chacho does a really good job of communicating where they're getting murdered and how they're getting murdered and why they're getting murdered. Well, maybe not the why, but no, I mean, much love to those guys. And Elbro Chacho's communication, and honestly, Shadow Q's communication too.
Very, very true. Also, a support player.
And also, he's no longer tied to Dig. He is now a free agent, which is very interesting. But Shadow Q he does a very good job of communicating sort of like he supports. He fosters other people's communication. He's very quick to say, keep talking, let's talk about what's happening. Kali gonna be locked in again for the Rambozos. We saw this before. That was Boom Squad versus Rambozos, a game that was decided very early on, but took a while to end.
Yep. We actually found some new information out via that. We saw a Kali Aphrodite pick.
Yeah.
We wonder if we'll see Rambozos pick up Aphrodite here, as it's not banned out.
I want to say they will.
And if we see the Kali Aphrodite, which is a scary thing in and of itself, jealousy damage, when the stun comes out from Aphrodite, will actually increase chin size damage, which is core.
Just
on
think
Kali,
about that.
So a great choice.
Just think about Kali doing 20% more chin size damage.
Think about we do get to see the Kali Aphrodite match. That's nice.
Yeah. So this is definitely something they've been planning on. If it works, it's probably something that's going to be target banned with the counterban phase next game. They're going to get away with this once. If it works. If it fails horribly, then 5 Angry Men will just be like, right, you can play whatever you want. We're good with what we did. But so there's a lot going on. The big thing is you've got the slow and the extra burst from the back off. You've got the sustain from the birds and the pressure damage, with the downside of the potential for kill stealing. That's the biggest problem with this Afro-Kali combination. You've got an ultimate that stops Kali from dying, and you've got an ultimate on Aphrodite that stops Kali from dying. Do you see where I'm going with that? And then you have a little bit of extra control, and you increase Kali's damage, including chin size, by 20%, which means Best is really lucky he didn't pick Hercules, and it also means that Athena is not safe. at all.
Athena's very unsafe. You mentioned that the best didn't pick Hercules. We are going to see the best play Scylla today, which I feel, once upon a time, I would say the best really was Hebo. We saw a lot of Habois come out from the best in middle lane. He really used the blind water spouts to his advantage. This time around, we'll see him in the solo lane, so a little bit of different surroundings, but Scylla is really the god that the best has really grown into. MLC Stealth of Cognitive Prime and the best of previously Dig, now 5 Men, really are the premier Scylla players in my mind, Kret. And we get to see the best play Scylla. We get to see Mace of the Face play Agni. These characters are the characters that our mid and solo laner really embody, and they're the core of this team. So we're going to have a uphill battle for the Rambozos, who actually really haven't had too much stiff competition here in the finals when they make it out in the Challenger Cup. So we're going to take a look at how this first game goes. Don't forget, it's a best of 3. A lot rides on this Kali Aphrodite matchup. If it works, as Kret said, expect the ban second game. If not, we'll see what happens. Stay tuned. We're going to get right into the action in just a matter of minutes. We'll see you soon. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our start of our best of 3 finals. This is week 6 of the North American Challenger Cup. Today we have 5 angry men facing off against the Rambozos.
Yeah, 5 angry men coming out of the order side of the map once again. You already know, but I'm gonna say it one more time. Bugsy 80 carried the best, Mace of the Face and Homie Effie make up this team. Homie Effie played very well last game on Thor. We'll see if he can do a repeat performance on Mercury. Being a Masters ranked player, I think he's still Masters. At least he was before. And sort of filling a lot of the different roles. But I think primarily being a jungler, Merc and Thor should be well within his god pool.
Right. We are on the new patch, folks, so all the conversions, all the heavy hammer changes, they are live, as well as a brand new spectator client. Feel free to give some feedback on Twitter, twitter.com/f.ny. Let us know how you like the new spectator UI. Unfortunately, the top end of the overlay is not something we can fix. We will be sure to update you on the kills as they go out.
Yeah.
The best takes a little bit of poke to throw a silly basic attack on that mid tower. Interesting choice there.
20 damage. Worth. I mean, he wasn't using that health anyway, right?
I suppose. About 13 seconds until we see mid camps as well as the rest of the jungle go ahead and spawn, and we see the teams in a normal setup. Nothing too out of the ordinary. We're going to split the mid camp on the right-hand side among 3 players, and then we'll go get the blue solo lane and then head to red with the help of the middle lane, most likely. Right camps go to Rambozos. Left go to 5 angry men as per usual, and we are underway as folks make their way to the lanes.
And I think I want to look at this solo duo matchup more than anything else. I mean, Apollo, Geb, Ram, and Athena, not necessarily in that order, but usually make up the duo lane that's fairly standard. But Afro Kali is a very high synergy composition, and it's not something that 5 angry men will necessarily be able to handle straight up. We see a early rotation coming out of Homie Effie, so he's going to try and make things happen in the middle lane across the map, and I like this decision, but it could put the best in a very compromising position as well. We'll see how that works out.
Yeah, they're depending on the best's ability to really lane by himself. He's going to lose some gold to tower here, as Scylla's early game clear is just not that strong. What they want to do is they want to split up the Kali Aphrodite as quick as possible, because as you said, it's just strong push. So by rotating the jungler out there, the 1v2 situation will deny gold, but boon experience, so it forces Kali out of that lane and makes her head towards mid.
Yeah, is gonna head towards mid, just pick up some extra farm, now heading towards the red buff. While Homie Effie, he's gonna pick up red for his mid laner, heading to the safe camp, but the question is, where is he going now? He's not taking the he's not taking the fastest path to a speed buff, so it looks like gonna try and leech another wave out of mid, hanging out with his boy Mace of the Face, as 2 camps going down with coordination coming out from acceleration. Not acceleration. Wow, the Rambozos. I do want to mention, really, really good decision from Maduro to get the red, then go back, kill the safe camp, then go back, then pick up the red, which will delay the time. It'll increase the amount of time he effectively has a red buff without delaying the camp's spawn time.
Small micromanagement play right there coming out from a very adept player. Aduro, never a starter on a pro team, but previously longtime substitute for Team Dignitas, did see some professional play himself in that middle lane, so definitely a proficient player in and of himself right here. This matchup in the middle should be interesting. Aduro, as we said, never a starter, but a proficient substitute, and Mason the Face, a starter on a not top pro team, so should see similar skill levels right there. Left lane, a lot of push coming out from 5am, really running the dual lane. The opposite is true in the solo lane as Rambozos Aphrodite pushes up against the best on his tower.
Oh, Miefi charging an ultimate by the tower, but looks like he's not going to be able to make anything happen as Grishank recalls. Recall time for Grishank is perfect because, hey, mid camps are coming up, and the fact that we have timed recalls in the Challenger Cup just says a lot about how far our competitive scene has come. I mean, that's really micromanaging, but it's also really important to not go back when you need to fight. It's gonna go to Grishank with the Hog on the right-hand side. Special delivery not gonna come out. So Kali, while taking a lot of damage, should be okay. On the left side, Athena will be able to rotate over, and Bugsy with Elbow Miefi will be able to take the mid camp. Not too much jungle left to clear for Grishank, but look at the way he's playing. The Rambozos aren't being aggressive in the jungle. They're not doing the speed invade that we talked about. They're farming because Kali wants to farm.
Very true. Rambozos have a very patented, expected play coming out from them. They routinely invade the speed buff. Jungler uses usually a leap ability to get out of the camp while Aduro shoots ability over the wall. We see it quite literally every single game except for this one. This time around, as Kret said, prioritizing the safe farm. They need Kali to get ahead. This is the reason we don't see a lot of Kali, because behind Kali just doesn't exist. Chin size difference from level 2 to level 3 is imperative to reach there, so she needs to farm up that gold. Good push coming out from 5am onto the solo lane to alleviate some of the pressure by Mercury. Not going to get a kill, but that wasn't the intention. Just wanted to, as I said, alleviate some pressure.
Yeah, speed buff now going to go down to Grishank. Aduro rotating over and getting some experience with his unstable vortex, maintaining efficiency. You get 50% more experience. Not 100% sure on the... Wait. It's 147%. Yeah, so it's actually 140% bonus gold and experience when you 2-mana camp with Boomba's Mask. Shout out to Math. So nice job maintaining efficiency coming out from Aduro and Grishank. Still farming as this Kali. Expect that to continue forever. The one thing I want to mention, this is still a Hand of the Gods Kali. I don't think anyone can argue that Kali is not better in teamfights when she has 2 actives. Grishank's really only going to have 1. You'll get a Fist eventually, but it's not nearly as useful as Blink, Sprint, whatever.
And that is just a tenement to high-level play, Kret. If the enemy team brings up the scoreboard and takes a look and notices that jungler doesn't have Hog, they will routinely invade. And they will, more often than not, make use of that invade. So you almost are forced into the Hog. It's very, very hard to play, to forego Hog in the jungle against a competitive, proficient team such as 5am or Rambozos. Both of these teams definitely know what they're doing. And because of that, we see a very passive game. Almost 6 minutes in, 0 kills on the scoreboard, and that's because Kali needs to get gold to get her chin size. Really not effective in before. Well, that's probably the wrong way to say it, but not as effective as she could be without those chin size. And Mercury, could Mercury be a little more aggressive, or do you like the path that he's doing, staying a little more on the passive side?
He needs to make stuff happen with his ultimate. I mean, his big advantage is gonna be that semi-global presence coming out, ganking down the lanes with that sonic boom, and here it is, charging
Aduro
up in the middle, looking to come in. Aduro could be in trouble. Maybe Grishank, sonic boom coming through, taking down Aduro, first blood. Omiefi runs into the jungle. Grishank coming around, but he knows he can't find the kill, and that's just Aduro making a mistake. He could have walked behind the wall and line of sight at that. He just didn't, because he didn't think about the Merc ult.
And that's exactly what you're talking about. The semi-global presence of that Mercury comes through, earns himself a kill, earns himself first blood for his club, and that's going to be an 800 gold lead. Middle camps on the left go the way of what looks like the blue team, and now Chris Pocket alone. Here comes Grishank trying to make something happen. Double stun with the incense out is the ultimate, and Homiefi in a bad spot.
Nice.
That's the target. Grishank is going to be completely healed up. Down comes 80 carried, but wasn't expecting the full heal.
Left-hand side,
immediately turn around.
Mace in a lot of trouble. Will get taken down. Trying to juke, and he looked a lot like Shadowkeep, who is his brother, but wasn't able to get away. He just bought some time. Great play coming out there with Grishank, knowing the fact that, yeah, his ultimate doesn't do much damage, but it's often enough to secure kills just like that in the early game. We'll get the target, and what's so important about getting targets on Kali, yeah, the heal's nice, and it totally kept him alive, but you get a substantial gold increase.
You do get a gold increase. That was one of the more slept-on abilities of that Kali target, but right there it was all about the heal.
Yeah.
AD carried, came in, and that was a kill. If that was not Kali's target, it was.
Yes.
We saw him immediately turn tail and walk in the opposite direction. So that's Kali mechanics that the target is tough to really play around, but when it works out like that, that's how the character is designed.
Think about it this way, though. When you get First Blood, you get a substantial amount of gold. It puts you ahead. When you get killed after getting First Blood, you're worth more than everyone else on your team, usually. Kali got that kill, and so actually now has 100 gold more than her opposing Mercury, who did get that First Blood. Now, there's also farming involved, but I want to think that the passive is a big part of finding a small little gold lead for Kali, which is good, because she's not supposed to be even in this matchup. Mercury should be ahead. Mercury should have kills, because Mercury should have more presence. Grishank being a level up and very slightly up in gold is really bad news for 5-Angry Men.
Yeah, that Kali passive is going to net 25% extra gold for that kill. So, as you said, with the First Blood, that's going to mean a lot for Kali. Aduro right now turns around as he sees 3 members of 5-Angry Men aggressing on him, and the nice portal is going to put him safely underneath his tower, so you won't see much coming out from over there. Grishank with a nice lash onto Homie Effie, forcing Homie Effie to play a little bit more safe, I suppose.
Yeah. So Kali's early game is very bad in comparison to her late game, but if you play it right with the lash, you can actually do some decent damage. I mean, when you hit a single target, that's 3 blades hitting for 75 each, so it's something like 375 damage, including the DOT base, along with 90% damage from scaling. It ends up being really substantial. That burst from lash is so crucial.
Is so aggressive.
Yeah,
90%.
exactly. 90%. Now that's if you hit all 3 blades.
Of course.
But
right camps go down to 5-Angry Men. Left camps will be hogged by Chris Pocket, the man with the good hogs today. Earlier in the tournament, Chris Pocket, as he takes a little bit of poke, secured a level 1 Gold Fury steal with level 1 hog against Boom Squad.
yeah.
Boom Squad attempted a level 1 Gold Fury, and Chris Pocket was able to just steal it, playing Athena, so nothing too crafty there, and just able to walk up and hit hog at the right time. So got the hogs on point today is Rambozos support, Chris Pocket. And again, return to passivity. 10 minutes in, 2-1 of the kills. Rambozos up by 1 against 5-Angry Men, their opponents. And really, as we said, these junglers are playing it passive. Kali needs to. Mercury, not so much, but he did earn himself a First Blood. Want to see more of that out of Homie Effie.
Yeah, now, very, very slight gold lead in favor of the Rambozos. Experience is 1,000, which is pretty good. I want to stress, this Rambozos lineup is supposed to be losing early. I mean, Geb is weaker than Athena in the early game, for sure. Yanis, I want to say, is weaker than Agni in the early game. I mean, they can both contribute to fights in different ways. Oh, gank on the left-hand side, special delivery. Will not quite get onto the Paradox. Bugsy is going to come in, nice blink. Catechism will follow, or stop the follow-up, and now Aduro Grishank on their way, looking for AD carried, who is going to get a nice mez, goes up in the air, and will be able to escape with his amazing horse. Agni rotating in, but nothing's quite going to happen, and this is fine. Like, every fight that doesn't result in everything is a win for the Rambozos, because they're waiting for that late game.
Very much so. This Kali will pay off in the long run. Aduro at about 50% HP, getting Mace in the portal.
Wow.
Hits him with the unstable vortex. Mace
Good
is down to
lash,
about
too.
15% HP, along with the help of Grishank. And Bugsy just spacing out, providing just enough presence to allow Mace to the face to get home and safe and sound, while Meerkat wins a solo fight over in the solo lane. Best falls down for the first time this game, and Meerkat will get some tower damage.
Yeah, and what that comes down to is just there's a lot of pressure from the solo lane Aphrodite in this matchup, because you can't kill her. Oh,
Tower
diving in the
dive
middle
coming
lane.
out
Grishank
is
getting very
Grishank.
low. DOT is going to be enough. Grishank able to secure that without his ultimate. And that's the power of Kali. Like, she has really good burst for confirming kills. You're not gonna 100% anyone in the early game. You have to wait for that. But you can burst people down who are already low. Well played from Grishank. I love it.
Mace to the face with a catch-22 right there. Duro not going to be thrown into the tower by Homie Effie, and a good portal is going to let him get out. Homie Effie, just careful. Good stun coming out from Grishank. Grishank playing this Kali very, very well, Cret.
Yeah, I mean, we don't often see Kali be effective, but he played it well. Nice little heal off those camps there with the Boomba's mask, and is going to go back to farming his jungle. Hitting level 14, let's look at that golden hand. He needs 300 more gold. Looking at his GPM, that's less than a minute. So let's call it 40 seconds until the real Kali is online. I'm scared.
That said, let's take it, not just speaking about the chin size, let's take a look at the builds. Apollo has built and stacked Transcendence. Take a look at the other side. It's the typical Devo glove start that we see out of the ROM. This Transcendence is going to give Apollo a lot of damage, and it's honestly not an item that we see built on Apollo too often. You get a little bit of mana as well, so that helps being effective after rotating with the ultimate. A lot of times we see Apollo rotate with an ultimate, then not have any mana to really use his abilities. That's going to be fixed with the Bandit of Transcendence, and the fact that Apollo is even 0, 0, and 0, and has this Transcendence online speaks volumes.
It does actually put him ahead in the early game. The big thing about the ultimate, it gives you options when you have that extra mana. You can go up in the air, fight isn't really there, and so you just stay there. You wait for the opportunity, give your support some time to initiate, and then come in. Obviously, you don't want to stay up in the air for too long because your opponents will just back off, they will just leave. But, you know, definitely give some options. I also want to mention the way Kali has to play. Ideally, Grishank wants to walk up to people and stun him to keep his jump online. We're going to see that here. He comes into the middle lane, stun, alright, doesn't hit it, dashes under tower, Athena shows up, that's why he didn't go in there. But if he had gotten that stun, and actually he's going to dive onto Bugs, getting very low, using Destruction, will be peeled, nice stone shield, gets the kill, not the target, and jumps away. Now Apollo's going to dash, looking for Grishank, but doesn't quite get far enough, and Chris Pocket is going to stop that rotation. Basically, you want to save your dash to chase their jump. That's so important. When you have, like, Vamana, for example. Vamana dies onto someone, you dash away, and he can't follow you. Kali, she can.
Gold Fury engaged on by Rambozos. Homofe is here, gets the 4-man ultimate out from Mercury, and that's actually going to go the way of Rambozos, despite fantastic crowd control.
Wow.
And the Paradox, absolutely on point. 3 shots, 3 hits. That's going to be a kill for him. Solo lane rotation is Mace to the face going down to Meerkat. Athena ultimate onto AD carry. Will it be enough? Good damage reduction coming out from that. Amazing taunt. And that's going to help out AD carry. Not able to get out as he's stunned. The basics won't be confirmed. Wow. And Rambozos drop a kill. Lesser Rambozos dropping a kill. And more Bugsy playing lights out.
Well, actually, I don't know if I can call it dropping, but Aduro did miss his Unstable Vortex by literally going around. Big damage on the best. Absolutely destroyed. Yeah, so it went right around him. That probably should have been a kill. I think we could say it was dropping, but it was also very well played from Pavir. And the other thing I want to mention, the kill on the Mace to Face was a coordinated back off and portal combo. Aduro portals through the wall, Meerkat presses 2. That's a kill. Completely unexpected, and that's thinking with portals. Next level.
Middle tower about to go down, so 16 minutes in the game. We will.
Oh, look at this mid lane. Homie Effie in a lot of trouble. Not gonna die there. He had to use bees. Through space and time doesn't quite work. It's very close.
I like the thought process. I usually don't like offensive through space and times, but that makes sense. With Gold Fury down, Fire Giant a little out of reach for these teams, the rotations might not be so necessary. I'm okay with that call. And the tower does go down, so 16.5 minutes in the game. 5 enemy men trailing Rambozos by 7 kills. 1-8, red team leading in that respect. Leading in all respects, 10,000, 11,000 experience, and 5,000 gold as well. So Rambozos looking very strong against 5 Inger men in this first match of the finals.
Kali ban. It's coming. I'm calling it. It's going to get taken down in the counter ban phase. Or maybe the Aphrodite. But I think Grishank has done well enough on his Kali alone to make it ban worthy. And then it's just the added sprinkles on top with the Kali Aphrodite linked up late game. But we've also seen Meerkat be very effective with other members of a team. So Maze is just something that they're good at. Rambozos are quickly looking like a team that's going to be a big threat to the lower teams in the SPL. Chunks and Thirst and well, maybe Snipe have to really watch out.
Middle lane, we see a Duro getting caught out. There's 2 members on either side of him, but the portal is
Good
absolutely no problem. Caught out. Good joke for Giannis, Kret says.
Yeah, right? He's never caught out.
If you know the geometry of the map, Giannis can be one of the
exactly.
most safe mages in the game, and Duro is proving that.
I want to say he's one of the... Like, I want to say he is some of the highest escape in the game. You've got Loki, you've got Shuket, and then you've got Giannis.
Yeah.
Mace to the face.
Mace to the face just going to be taken down. No ultimates necessary. Grishang putting another kill on the board. 5 men only have a single kill. That's on Mercury with that first blood. So interesting plays that they have not been able to get a kill since the 5th minute of the game, I want to say. Bugsy only taking 1 shot of that unstable vortex, not hitting the double tap, but Grishang offensive in the front line, gets the stun onto 1, gets 1 kill, completely chases Homie Effie out of the fray, while the best is also going to be aggressed on. Good dash coming out with the Sentinel. Grishang now pretty low, but he has that ultimate still available. Very, very low. Gonna disengage. There's that Aphrodite combo we're talking about, Kret. Able to heal up both from the ultimate and the birds. This tower not going to go down, but Rambozos not looking at it either. 4 men, here they are. This tower will fall at the 19-minute mark.
I also want to mention just how good Geb is with Kali as well. There's so many things to artificially increase Grishang's health bar, right? I mean, you've got the literal healing from Aphrodite. You've got the shield from Geb, which is basically healing. I mean, it's proactive healing, right? And then you've got the Undying Love from Aphrodite, which is basically also proactive healing. And if it immunes 2 bombs from Agni, you just healed up 1200 damage, 1000 damage, whatever.
Yeah. And this is the standard comp that we generally see with the Kali on the lineup. Protect the hyper carry. Sometimes
really, very much so.
Sometimes we see it come out with Freya, but a little less so, especially considering that Kali's kit allows her to stay in a fight similar to Thanatos. She's gifted and rewarded for being hyper aggressive. Mez is going to stun out the dash. That's fantastic play onto the Paradox. He's got no more disengage, but missed basics coming out from 80 carried will unfortunately let this kill go the wayside. Not much Homie Effie could do right there.
I want to say that's also good luck, because there was a 20% crit chance on that made you look, and it didn't crit. Now,
very true. Homie Effie looking at the
luck.
He's going to be okay. Sorry about that.
In the middle lane, Grishang could be in a lot of trouble though. Taunted out. Will use Destruction defensively and forced to jump away. Merkal is channeled. Grishang needs to get behind a wall, behind a tower. That'll work. His Geb is here as well. Bugsy wants to dive. Chris Pocket takes some damage, but not enough as Meerkat rotates over. We'll link up to Grishang. Destruction is down. But we already mentioned just how much there can be to keep this Kali alive. And if Grishang saves his jump, he should be safe. Nice Sikkim coming out from the best. Going to slow things down. But only so much. On the left-hand side, Yanis is going to actually portal through and try and defend this tower. Aduro versus 80 carried. Honestly, Yanis versus Apollo kind of... Oh, Homie Effie in the jungle. Getting... Yeah, wow, Kali.
Kali just running around level 20 alongside Meerkat. Not a single member on 5 Angry Men is anywhere near 20. The best, the solo laner, probably the most viable candidate to be level 20, sitting at level 17. Good stun coming out. Bugsy should be eliminated very quickly as Grishang has 8. Count them, 8 levels on the enemy support. Goldsphere goes down in the middle of that fray as well. Offensive jump lash. The shot's coming up for the Paradox. Fantastic play.
Wow.
Meerkat secures that kill with the back off. Just Paradox has been very good with those ROM ultimates.
And you know, when that Athena died, I do want to remind everyone the damage increase from the smooch from Aphrodite, Jealousy, will increase the damage of Chin size. So that man, it's just so disgusting watching that. Now in the middle lane, Grishang could be in trouble. His ultimate is available. He has to play this right. Will jump in place. Doesn't ult. And he died with it up. He had it the whole time. Maybe he ran out of mana. He did run out of mana.
That's going to be the first death going the way of Kali. Second kill for 5 Angry Men. 22 minutes on the nose. We're in this game. 5 Angry Men with 2 kills. Rambozos with 13 and a substantial lead for the red team. 11,000 gold, 19,500 experience. They are significantly ahead. Multiple level 20s on this team. The best still level 17 since we referenced it last, and he leads his team in experience if I'm not mistaken. If not, 80 carried is very close in front. We're going to see Homie Effie taking out the blue buff just as standard. Don't want to get too excited and invade right now. They are behind, so they have to play it safe. Rambozos are ahead in the 5 digits now, Kret. Where does 5 Angry Men look to make a stand? Do they look under tower, or do they look for an objective?
I feel like has to be sooner rather than later, and this comes from 80 carry's build. He's opted to go into chin size. I like the idea of going chin size on an 80 carry when you're behind. Yes, they're 3,000 gold, but they're so gold and item slot efficient when you actually finish them that they're still worth it. Like, it's, despite the cost, still actually the most gold efficient single DPS item in the game. Single item. When you have a full build, Rage and Deathbringer become better, but it does so much damage. He's going to try and leverage that right now. Mace of Face taken down by Grishang, absolutely destroyed. Through space and time coming through, looking for Homie Effie. Nice beads.
Good beads.
Will channel up his Sonic Delivery, or Sonic Boom, and he's going to be able to get out. Basically, he picked up chin size to fight, and that doesn't mesh with the Transcendence pickup. It doesn't match at all, because now he just won't have lifesteal for a long time.
At the moment, doesn't really need it. He's significantly far ahead and able really to just heal off with the help of his team. Right here, the choice to go Fatalis, Kret, is honestly trust in his team.
Yeah, no, it totally is. I was saying the Apollo will not have lifesteal, and that's really going to be rough for him. I mean, because he has to go crit after this.
I absolutely agree.
Like,
Rambozos going to aggress onto the Fire Giant, and
Apollo
4 members here with Kali damage. Apollo is in there with that Transcendence, so he'll be able to make it a decent amount, but that's going to be a disengage, and they're just going to turn and fight, folks. Good ultimate coming out from Chris Pocket, and Paradox takes out the 80 carry, while Grishang adds another one to his tally mark. Paradox in the air trying to provide some artillery for Grishang. Not able to land the third, but it doesn't matter. Grishang with the in-hands takes down that enemy. One more time, dash interrupted. Grishang gets a double kill on the back end of that fantastic display of mechanical awareness, and Chris Pocket heads right towards the Phoenix, understanding that the Phoenix can be more map pressure than the Fire Giant itself. Will do exactly that. Best is defending the right-hand Phoenix. I like that decision. Not much he could do in the solo lane, in the middle lane, and we're going to see Rambozos retreat and pick up that drive-by Fire Giant.
I actually want to see Grishang back here, and maybe not. He just doesn't really have good damage to this Titan because he's built entirely around chin size, and chin size do not work on the Titan, so Grishang's gonna back off. And actually, rotating in, Bugsy's gonna get the Fire Giant. That's a big mistake coming out from the Rambozos. They should not have let that happen. They should have positioned their Kali differently. Really bad news. Could buy some time, big damage onto a Duro, and he's gonna actually barely not die. Now the best could turn things around. 80 carried is here, Homie Effie as well, and it seems like Rambozos have gone a little bit too deep. They will lose their Aphrodite in the sheer bloodlust of the chase. After the Fire Giant, Homie Effie on the right-hand side, his ultimate is down. It just came back up, though. Will dash forward, not able to find the hit, but Apollo connects with that one. Chris Pocket blinks away at just the right time, and now Grishang's back, and this could be big.
This will be a dead support. Mace in the face getting credit for that one. Kills separated, kills shortened a little bit. 5 kills to 19. Still significant lead in the way of the kills and most everything else. 10,000 on the way of Rambozos, but that fight is going to mean a lot. We've got Fire Giant on 1 or 2 players still. We have Fire Giant on 80 carried, and we have Fire Giant on the best. That's going to mean a lot for 5 Angry Men. They take down their first tower of the match in that solo lane. It'll be a tier 1. It's only 500 gold, folks, but it's the map pressure that means more than anything. Really trying to make a comeback right here, Kret. That Fire Giant and tower are a great start. The fight following it was fantastic, and if 80 carried gets out of here, it's a good look He's not.
He started recalling. That was a big mistake, and this is the dead. Beads used prematurely because he knows he needs this kill. Fatalis Grishank misses the auto attacks, and that slight choke will allow AD Carry to get away. That's really unfortunate. Well, it's really fortunate for AD Carry, honestly. I don't think Rambozos... That would have been a nice kill, but they don't need it. They're still in control of this game. Five Angry Men have bought time, but that's all it is. I'm not going to call it a comeback yet. They're still down 9,000 gold. They're still down 16,000 experience. This gold free will go the way of the Rambozos unless we see something really strange come out. And there it is.
Yeah, and that gold fury is a very important one, folks. Rambozos is already up 10,000 gold. It means a lot less for Rambozos to have that gold fury given to them or not there or taken away than Five Angry Men earning it. Both on paper and mentally. Rambozos deleting that comeback mechanic essentially off of the map means Five Angry Men have to earn their gold via towers, via kills, etc. And at the moment, kills don't really seem like they are number one availability for our blue team today.
They still have that potential. I mean, let's take a look at the best right now. He's currently sitting at 445 magic power. I want to see him get red buff, and I think it is a bit of... Wait, who has red buff? I guess it was stolen. Yeah, it must have been stolen away by the Rambozos, as red buff just went down, and nobody on Five Angry Men has it, but, Oh, Bugsy has it. That's weird. It should be on the best, because the best still has the potential to win team fights. He is the hope of Five Angry Men right now, and we've seen it before. We have seen the best kill everyone, and
yeah,
that's what Five Angry Men needs to do.
I'm pretty sure it was the last time that the best played Scylla in our Challenger Cup here. He wound up with a pentakill.
No, it was the week before the SPL started. It was with Snipe.
Okay, it was with Snipe, right. But either way, the best does have pentakill experience. It is there. Blink interrupted coming out from Chris Pocket. Good taunt coming out from Bugsy as Grishank falls. That is a huge kill for AD Carry on the way of Five Angry Men as he pushes up that left lane. In fact, Rambozos are going to respect that kill, and they're going to find their way backing off. Five Angry Men need to stop any recalls right here. They need to chase these players so that Apollo can do what he does best, which is split push. They're going to opt not to do that. Mace to the face backs instead. Should see a second tower come out from Apollo, but not a Phoenix, as 2, 3, 4, all three players, with the exception of Aphrodite, will back and prevent the Phoenix death by Apollo. 80 carried, changed that entire engagement.
Here's the thing. I think there is also a crucial mistake coming out from Grishank. No Magi's. It helps you so much to have that bubble. It creates another option for you. It means you don't have to use beads on the first CC that hits you. And the Rage, yeah, it can give you some extra damage, but I don't really think Cully needs it. She...
Agreed.
With just chin size, Executioner or Fatalis, or, you know, maybe not Executioner, it could be Asi, it could be Ichival, it could be whatever, is probably the highest DPS character in this game, excluding the fact that Scylla can kill people instantly, because that's not really DPS. It's more like kit dump burst damage.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I would have loved to see this Fatalis followed up by a Titan's Bane, or a Magi's Blessing, and then a Titan's Bane.
Exactly, Titan's Bane.
Yeah, I think that would have been the fantastic way to go. Titan's Bane, of course, will help kill the structures. 3 Phoenixes are still up for Five Angry Men that haven't fallen. Well, 2 Phoenixes are up. The middle one has fallen, so you have to pay attention to the structure damage. That said, no criticism for Grishank, as he is sitting pretty at 11, 2, and 4 on a character that only gets stronger throughout the game. No fall off here, like the popular incorrect opinion of Thanatos. Grishank will just get stronger. Meerkat taking a little bit of damage.
There it
Grishank
is. Just the strength.
Deleting the best.
Yeah, now he needs to get in this engagement. We'll jump in, but dash away and being kited. And, you know, this is the problem of not having those 2 actives. Apollo up in the air, but where's he going to come down? Just doing circles. But with Transcendence, we mentioned earlier, he can stay up there all day. He is
Satellite
actually staying up there all day.
Satellite vault.
Yeah, he actually is just keeping everyone under control. hi-rez getting bursted, gets very low. Nice Apollo ult coming in, damage onto Grishank, but that ultimate comes out in time. Slightly miscommunicated, will receive the shield. It's enough to keep him alive for now. Healing back up with that lifeline from Aphrodite. Mace to the face, gonna get low, gonna get taken down by the back off, and Grishank sitting at around 300 health. That could be the game. Just Bugsy and hi-rez alive. 15 seconds on the best, and his ultimate is up. They do have to respect that, but Mace to the face and AD carried will be down for a long time. Grishank is healing up, and I think the call is gonna be the all-in.
Call is definitely for the Titan right now. Rambozos sitting pretty.
Bugsy
lost a little bit of their lead. Good portal coming out from Aduro. That'll delete the Athena, any taunts, but here comes the best. Up in the ultimate, not gonna kill the Paradox. If the Paradox had fallen, honestly, the best could have made a huge play. Unfortunately, not the case. hi-rez is gonna kill Grishank in the fountain, which could have been a giant misplay, but fight does go to Rambozos.
Yeah.
They will take the first game overall in spectacular fashion on the back of their jungler, Grishank. Game 1, it's in the books.
We mentioned in Picks and Bends, Athena is not safe, and that's exactly what allowed them to end the game. They had to focus down Athena first because her disruption, her control, and frankly her sovereignty, the fact that it gives everyone protections, very well could have made the difference there. Bugsy died, so did the Titan, and the teams move on. Game 2, we're going to be moving on, and Rambozos are going to be the first pick. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be back in just a few minutes with the continuation of our final series, 5 Men versus the Rambozos.